and it goes like this. I can't learn any more of these. So can't stands for California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. And that is going to be our next cluster. It's right here across the bottom of the West. Okay, so we have can't. So that is another cluster. Okay, when you come up from Texas, I go like I come up from Florida before. Remember when we did that? We're going to come up from Texas this time, and we're going to go from Texas to Oklahoma, Oklahoma to Kansas, Kansas to Nebraska, Nebraska's to the Dakotas, all the way through both the Dakotas. So that goes like this. Okay, Nebraska. Okay. So let's get a pen. Okay, Nebraska, and then we've North Dakota, South Dakota, and those are just in a line right there. So that's our next cluster. Okay, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota. So here's our second cluster here. Comes down in a straight line or up in a straight line. However you want to do that. Oklahoma is the one that's kind of shaped like a pot. Do you see the pot? And this is the pot. And then this is the handle. And Texas is really hot, so you put the pot on the heat. Get it? Ha 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 ha. Okay, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota. Okay, the next cluster that we have is, let me see if I can get up here a little bit. There we go. This state right here is at the top left. So this is Washington. Washington was our first president, right? And so this is the first on the left, so W, Washington. And then Washington won, W-O-N, won the American Revolution. So Washington won. Get it? Get it? He won the war. Go Washington. It's your birthday. Not for real though. Just for play. So W-O-N, Washington, Oregon, Nevada. Now Nevada is the state that has Las Vegas in it. It helps a lot of people remember that it's next to California. Okay? Washington, Oregon, Nevada. Okay, so next we have this one right here that's shaped like a bag of potatoes. And I don't know if you guys know this, but in Idaho is famous for their potatoes. Sometimes if your mom goes to the grocery store and she buys a bag full of potatoes, you'll see this shape on the outside of the bags. And then this kind of looks like a person's face right here. And so since this state is Montana, I say that's Hannah Montana's face, and that she's looking at Idaho. I don't know why she's looking at Idaho. Get it? Ha 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 ha. Okay. And then this state is, oh, let me rewrite this M and show you. Remember how we flipped the M before? When we did Minnesota and then Wisconsin and then Michigan, right? Well, we're going to do that again. We're going to take the M from Hannah, Montana. We're going to copy it. And we're going to paste it. And then we're going to flip it. Flip it. Okay, so that stands for Wyoming. So the W is the upside down M, and they're next to each other. That leaves only two states left in this cluster, and those are Colorado. Well, if you look at the shape of Colorado, look at that shape. Doesn't it look like watch this. If I take that and I copy it and I paste it, Isn't it almost an identical copy of Wyoming? So we say Colorado copy. Colorado is the copy of Wyoming because it's almost identical in shape. The reason why all these states to the left here have real straight lines is because they were added to the United States as a large territory. And then we started doing surveying and setting up of what they called townships. And then you'd have to have so many townships, and each township had a school, and you had to have a certain population, and then you could apply for statehood. So that's why these lines are real straight, whereas the lines on the East Coast are real curvy because those were all set by like rivers and stuff like that. Okay, finally, the last state that's on the continental United States is also in this cluster, and that is Utah. See how I draw like the U around the little square that sticks? See, Utah. Like hugs the corner because that's the state that has the corner in it. So all of these together are another cluster. So we have Idaho. Why is Hannah Montana looking at Idaho? I don't know. And then we have the upside down M that becomes the W, which is Wyoming. And then we have the carbon copy of Wyoming, Colorado. And then we have Utah that has the U shape that goes around this square that cuts into it. And that makes this Utah. Finally, our last two states, most students have no trouble with whatsoever because they are in an odd position. Hawaii, as you know, is a group of islands. Does Hawaii actually belong there? No. Hawaii is actually in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, way, 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 way west of the continental United States. And then we have Alaska, which is not in this position either. Alaska is actually north of Washington. You have to go through some of Canada if you're going to drive it, and then you would hit Alaska. That's why most people go by boat. But if you look at them together, they say ha, as in ha. Okay, just kidding. They say ha, H-A for Hawaii and Alaska. So I hope that you've enjoyed this little tour of the rest of the United States and that you feel confident and that you're using your clickable map to help you memorize. And let me know in class if you have any questions or if there's still some states that you're having a hard time with. Okay, thanks. Bye. No, it's still going. So I have to save it.